For months after Lena Parker vanished, there were no answers. No body, no arrests, no closure. The cruise line quietly labeled her disappearance an accident and moved on. But someone else didn't. Lena's friend. 3 months after the cruise returned to port, the case was officially considered closed. But Lena's friend couldn't accept that. She kept replaying the night Lena disappeared, the short walk for air, the unanswered texts, the way security seemed to already have an explanation prepared before anyone had searched. She requested copies of public reports. Not only that, but she read every timeline, and one thing stood out. The ship's official version didn't match the ship's own logs. According to the cruise line, Lena likely fell overboard just before midnight, but internal records showed something strange. At 11:40 p.m., a maintenance request was logged for Deck 9. Not for cleaning, not for repairs, just a vague note. Check area. 10 minutes later, Lena was last seen on camera. That maintenance request was missing from later reports. Lena's friend knew this wasn't coincidence. Using passenger forums and social media, she quietly contacted former crew members. Most didn't respond. Some warned her to stop asking questions, but one person finally agreed to talk anonymously. The former crew member said that night was tense. A maintenance worker had been sent to Deck 9 unexpectedly. Supervisors were present. Additionally, cameras close to the outer rail were momentarily taken offline, which is something that hardly ever occurs. The crew member said, "Everyone knew something was wrong. We were just told to forget it." Months later, with pressure from Lena's family and new information from her friend, investigators revisited the phone evidence. The original audio was reviewed again, but this time, a corrupted backup file was recovered from a secondary server. The sound was distorted, but unmistakable. Footsteps, heavy breathing. A pause. Then a man's voice. "Don't turn around." Lena's friend said that was the moment everything became clear. She didn't fall, she said. She realized she was being cornered. Attention turned to the maintenance worker. He had been reassigned mid-cruise. No explanation, no report. Within weeks, he quit the company. Then he disappeared from the industry entirely. But months later, he resurfaced, applying for a new job, one that required fingerprinting. In private, those fingerprints were contrasted with partial prints found on Lena's phone case. They matched. Investigators say Lena had witnessed him do something inappropriate. Since it's confidential, they made an agreement with the cruise line. There would be no press conference held. There is no headline. The classification of the case was altered behind closed doors. Investigators confirmed Lena was not alone in her final moments. The cruise line issued no statement. The ship continued operating. Lena's friend never called herself an investigator. She never wanted attention. She just wanted the truth. "If I hadn't kept pushing," she said, "this would have stayed buried." Lena Parker didn't vanish by accident. She was approached. She was silenced. And she was almost forgotten. Almost. Her final words were recorded. Her presence erased from the deck. But months later, the truth surfaced not because of cameras, but because one person refused to stop asking why. Lena's story ended where it began, in the shadows between cameras, and in the voice that said, "Don't turn around."